Kia ora te whānau, ko Andrew Doubleday aho. Today we're looking at the Gospel for Sunday the 4th of September. It's Luke chapter 14 verses 25 through to 33. Now, large crowds were travelling with Jesus, and he turned to them and said, "Whoever comes to me and does not hate brother, father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even life itself, cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry the cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and estimate the cost, to see whether you have enough to complete it? Otherwise, when you've laid a foundation and not able to build to finish, all will see it and begin to ridicule you, saying, 'This person began to build and was not able to finish.' Or what king going out to wage war against another king will not sit down first and consider whether he's able with 10,000 to oppose the one who comes against him with 20,000? If he cannot, then, while the other is still afar away, he'll send a delegation and make for terms of peace. So therefore, none of you can become my disciple if you do not give up all your possessions." Whew, it sounds quite harsh, doesn't it? This whole talk about hating brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers. And there's a kind of polemical, exaggerated edge to what Jesus is saying. As I said, it sounds difficult. And Christianity surely is supposed to be easy. Isn't that what we signed up for? Dallas Willard, who I used to listen to and read a lot, he described the word that's used here for disciple. It means an apprentice, a lifelong follower, a lifelong learner, someone who's always in an apprenticeship to Jesus. And a lot of us actually are not keen on the idea. He tells us the number of times that he actually would preach on the issue. And so often he'd have someone come up to him afterwards. And he remembers one particularly well-to-do lady who was, obviously very prosperous, well-dressed and cultured. And she said to him, "I don't want to be a disciple. I just want to be a Christian. I just want to know that when I die, that I'm going to spend eternity in heaven. That's why I signed up. I didn't want any of this other stuff. I just want to know that when it's all over, that I'm going to be okay. I just want to be a Christian." And Jesus is saying, actually, it's not what it's about. And he's offering us a warning that we need to be aware that following Jesus, that becoming a disciple, becoming an apprentice, could be difficult. It won't be mission impossible, but it could be mission difficult or mission very hard. And we think, ooh, he's not offering cost-free Christianity. I want to suggest though that he's also speaking in love. This is an act of love. He's recognizing the challenges that could be ahead for us, and he's offering us reality. He's saying, let's not pretend here that this is necessarily going to be easy. And so it would seem that he's putting the downside. He says, don't start this journey if you're not up to it. Yet there's also a sense that he's inviting us to trust. So that when he says that unless you hate your mother and father, your brother and sister, he's inviting us to let go. It's not a sense of he expects us actively to hate them, but there's an invitation to trust them, to his care, that we don't have to be fussing after them. We don't have to be obsessively worried about how they're going to be. Just trust them to me, he says. Just trust them to me. I can take care of them. Let go your need to be in control. Let go your need to actually, how does one put it? Be the centre of all things. And he's telling us, sure, this could be difficult, but there is an upside. And the upside is that the challenges that could be ahead of us can be faced with courage, with confidence, and even with joy. Now, one of the things we need to be really clear about is that this is not an entitlement culture that Jesus is offering. And I've met people who get really disillusioned with the Christian faith when things go wrong in their lives. When things didn't turn out as they hoped for, or as they expected, or as they actually believed that they were promised they were going to. This is not what they signed up for. Everything's going wrong. You know, my family's falling apart. My business is falling over. Things are terrible. We're miserable. And they often go in one of two directions. They either end up blaming themselves for not being good enough, and it's just too hard. Well, they blame God, because God didn't keep his side of the bargain. He didn't keep the deal that we signed up for, that I was going to trust him and he was going to look after me and everything was going to be wonderful. So they back away and bail out. It happens more often than you imagine. And I just think of the times that I've been sitting with people with this kind of expectation, and I've kind of had to say to them, look, I've got news for you. And the first thing you need to understand is that Jesus is not primarily concerned with your happiness, with your success, with your prosperity. And some find this hard to hear. But what was it you signed up for? Well, that Jesus takes away my sin, my sense of shame and guilt, and gives back peace, healing, and a sense of purpose. And it's true that he does all those things. Yet there's also an expectation of more, that they're looking for abundant material prosperity and success. And friends, this does happen for a lot of people, but it's by no means guaranteed. It's not part of the deal that we've signed up for. It may or it may not happen. You need to hear that last line of the passage we read. So therefore, none of you can become my disciple if you do not give up all your possessions. Whoa! What? What about prosperity teaching? That if I follow the way of Jesus and I tithe and I do all these things and live this good holy life, then everything's going to come my way. Jesus doesn't say that. He does say that he's come that we might have life and have it in all its fullness. But it's not about having lots of stuff. You see, the thing is that Jesus, in my view anyway, is primarily concerned with our character, your character, my character, about who you're becoming, about what you're becoming, what kind of person you're becoming, what kind of person I'm becoming. It seems to me that that's what discipleship is about. And I'm becoming a person of deeper integrity, a person who's clear and open and honest, a person who can exercise courage in the face of difficulty and of hard choices that are in front of them, a person who, in the face of all things, can still live out with a profound sense of kindness and compassion and generosity of spirit toward others. Aren't they the kind of things that Jesus is looking for? I think they are. And there are benefits. In Galatians chapter 6, I keep coming back to this. Paul puts it this way. The fruit of the Spirit, he says, are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. And the reality, friends, is that these are wonderful things to be sure. And they don't come out of everything going our way. They don't arise out of us getting everything that we want or think that we're entitled to. So often these things come out of struggle and out of difficulty. How do you learn patience except in the face of things being difficult and not going the way that you hope they would as quickly as you want? How do you learn to love except by being pushed into a situation where you're invited to reach towards others even though they may not deserve it? And we discover as we follow the way of Jesus that becoming the kind of disciple that he talks about can bring to us that profound sense of an awareness of how loved we are and a deep sense of peace in our hearts. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. These are the fruit of the Spirit. These are the signs of lives that are committed to the way of Jesus, of people who are following his way, people who become apprentices, people who become disciples. An invitation for us to trade in all the things we think that we need of material success and of being somebody to discover something much more profound. It's a daily invitation and a daily challenge. God bless you.